Welcome back to Shockwaves Labs. Rudy here. Today we'll be going through Wheeljacks toolbox. This is a real fun deck to play, just because you just get to have amazing turns. You get to do a lot of stuff, and it has lots of answers for many decks. And the only deck really this has a problem with is two tall blues, and so like Power to Primes, Nova Star Prime, like pretty much Optimus Prime is the bane of this deck, because the key thing here is RC. Like, you really want to keep her protected because she really gives you that damage advantage. Really, I guess, but we'll get into that. So first thing that we'll do is we'll go through the bots, just to make sure everyone's on the same page and everyone knows what they do. Then we'll go through the battle cards, like how they support the bots, and then after that we'll go through the sideboard, because sideboard's a thing now. All right, so to kick things off, we have Prowl. So you have Prowl, military strategist. He's a car specialist. He has a 3 attack, 9 health, 2 defense. When you flip to his alt mode, all your cards get bold 2 until end of turn. When you flip into bot mode, if a card gets KO'd, then you repair 3 damage to one of your characters. His attack goes up to a 4. His health is a 9. And his defense stays at a 2. Next we have is Flame War. She has a 3 attack, 10 health, and 1 defense. When you flip her back to her alt mode, all of your characters get bold 1 until end of turn. And then when you flip her to her bot mode, her stats stay the same, but all of your characters get tough 1, which is pretty nice. Now we have, Flame War is a specialist in both modes, and a bicycle in her alt mode. Then we have RC. She's a motorcycle specialist also. She has a 2 attack, 9 health, 1 defense. When you flip her to her alt mode, all of your bots heal for 1 damage. And then when you transfer her to her alt mode, her attack drops by 1 to a 1. Her health stays at 9, her defense stays at a 1. But the great thing about her is that in bot mode, all of her damage is pierce, so all the oranges you flip are pierce, all the upgrade damage, everything she deals is just pierce. She's specialist in this mode as well. And then we go to Wheeljack. He's a car specialist. He swings for 4, has a 13 health and 2 defense. When he is in alt mode, whenever one of your cars, whenever you play an upgrade on one of your cars, you draw a card and then you immediately scrap a card. This is huge for the deck. This pretty much what makes the deck go. And then in his bot mode, he's just a melee character. He swings for 5. His attack goes up by 5. His health is 13, and he has a 1 defense. Or his defense drops to a 1. As long as you have a weapon in your scrap pile, he has both 3, and it's nice because it just has to be in there when you start the attack. So if you attack and you only have 2 cards in your deck, but your weapon is in your scrap pile, and even though your scrap pile goes back into your deck, he still has a bold 3 when he attacks, which allows for huge swings. Wheeljack is definitely a character not to be underestimated. So this deck, big thing here is that all these guys are specialists, and so this deck really utilizes multi-mission gears, multi-mission tools, to just allow for huge turns. And field communicators. The idea is that you put multi-mission gears and tools on Prowl and Wheeljack. You use that to draw a card and then play another card. So you could play a multi-mission tool on Prowl, draw a card, scrap a card. And then if you by chance happen to say you get a grenade launcher, you can drop it on RC, or you could just hold on to it and play it later. The idea is like you're cycling through your deck, like you're using Wheeljack's card draw ability to get the cards that you want, and you use multi-mission gear, multi-mission tool to be able to play the cards that you want as well. And yeah, you're building the ideal hand. Ideally, like with RC, you will do a grenade launcher, reckless charge, kill whatever bot you want to get rid of. and then you will, yeah, you'll just do debilitating swings that will cripple your opponent. Although like that is, and the big thing though is that it's Wheeljack. Wheeljack's kind of actually the hidden star of this, because while all RC's damage is piercing, she is very weak. She's a glass cannon, which it really stinks, because that's really the downfall of this deck, or the weakness of this deck, is that like we need these two guys. We need Wheeljack and RC alive to at least swing one, so that way they can deal their damage. If you go against Power of the Primes or Nova Star Prime, or really any deck with Battlefield Legend Prime, he can easily one-shot RC, and he has many times. And if RC goes down in the first round, then it's really hard to recover. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's really difficult to recover. Like Prowling, you have to get really lucky with Prowling Flame more. But yeah, but right now, current meta seems like to be Bugs, Superion, Sentinels. That seems to be kind of like those, like the big three. So hopefully, if you by chance happen to take this to a tournament or something, maybe you don't want to have to fuss with it. But man, this is just one thing definitely to look out for. Play style, like I said, you're kind of you're cycling through your hand. You're just trying to build your ideal hand, and then you just deal devastating blows to your opponent. But like the nice thing too is like you don't have to. You're playing against like Superion. You don't necessarily have to build a perfect hand. You can kind of you can play a little bit more conservatively. And the nice thing with RC is like with Superior you're doing with a lot of direct damage, but direct damage only does like 1 or 2 at a time. You get ping, 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 and they're not doing big swings till later on in the game. And so that way you can control where the damage goes, and you can use RC to wipe off 4 damage every other turn, which is just a great help for you. I mean, the Superior decks I played against with this deck, that's pretty much what I did. Is I would spread out the damage, then use RC to heal, and just do like decent sized swings to just get rid of bots until he combined, and then I just let him have it and just finished off Superion. So that being said, let's actually get into the support of these cards, and we'll see how they complement each other. Alright, cool. Let's do it. Alright. So, here's a battle card setup. In this deck, what we're running is 3 Reckless Charges, 3 Supercharges, 3 Matrixes of Leadership, 3 Prestige Advantages, 3 Multi-Mission Gears, 3 Work Overtimes, 2 Bashing Shields, 3 Improvised Shields, 2 Incoming Transmissions, 3 Flamethrowers, 3 Multi-Tools, 3 Piece of Tyrannies, 3 Grenade Launchers, and 3 Field Communicators. Alright, so first thing off the bat, this deck is super heavy orange. You're barfing up orange, and you are just swinging for the fences. So like I said, the big keys here in this deck are the Multi-Mission Gears, Field Communicators, and the Multi-Tools. These allow you to take massive turns to kind of essentially dump your hand and make huge plays. Unless, of course, they're not swinging for very hard, because the idea is like you want to outpace your opponent for damage. If it's like orange on orange, you're trying to outpace them, and so you're dumping your hand, swinging super hard, dropping them before they drop you. And that's kind of nice thing is that if you're going like blow for blow, you have 4 bots, they probably have 3, so you're gonna always be like 1 bot ahead. So like you'll win, but you'll win with 1 bot left, but you're still winning. And then with blue, you have a little bit of like blue here. This kind of like, it's kind of Flame War's secondary purpose. It's like there's not a lot of blue, but with Tough 1 you might flip it and just reduce a little bit of damage. But yeah, playing against another blue deck, you can you don't have to go as hard or aggressive, except maybe like Superion, but that's only when he combines, and then you can start swinging for the fences and putting them down. Usually Reckless Charges I save for RC, just because, oh man, +4 on an all pierce damage character is pretty hoss. Field Communicator, every character is a specialist, so Field Communicator will work every time. Supercharged, since everything's heavy orange, you're probably gonna be flipping orange. As I'm gonna say, two bashing shields are here because some people like armor up. Reinforced plating, sparring gears are super annoying against a heavy blue deck. Force fields can definitely put a damper on things. Force fields will definitely stop RC. Incoming transmissions in there just to get rid of dead cards in your hand. Work overtime, definitely like that's the card you really want to keep because that is the gas for your engine. Because since you're dumping your hand, you want to ideally. It's kind of cool when you multi-mission gear, work overtime, draw up to 4 cards, and then you play another action. It's really awesome. But yeah, work overtime. That's the card you definitely want to keep in your hand. Peace of Tyrannies and Improvised Shields. It's nice because, I have incoming transmission to get rid of dead cards, but you also have Wheeljack there, whose ability gets rid of dead cards. So if you have a Piece of Tyranny or an Improvised Shield in your hand, and then you draw a Field Communicator, no problem. Scrap the Improvised Shield, keep the Field Communicator, and then just keep dumping out upgrades or playing cards. Grenade Launcher, nothing special, just the +4 attack. Ideally play on RC, but also Grenade Launcher and Wheeljacks, nothing is awesome. Or if you could go against Power of the Primes and or Optimus Prime and he drops your RC, that Grenade Launcher is really going to help level out the battlefield. Flamethrower, just the basic +2 bold. But yeah, the thing here is like a lot of this heavy damage. Everything here is just contributing to damage, just increasing that output. Matrix is a leadership in there. There are probably better upgrades in there for utilities, but it's also a blue pip card, which is just nice to have the arbitrary blue pip come in on a defensive flip is nice, and it's a utility slot upgrade that provides +1 to attack. I was thinking about turbo boosters, but it's cars only, and so I'm like, plus they have to be in car mode, and usually I transform all my cars into bots and they leave them there. Unless of course it's a blue deck. Blue deck really changes how I play. Just all my friends play heavy orange, or most of my friends play heavy orange. So it doesn't happen too often. But the tournaments I go to, there's heavy blue, which kind of like throws me off. But turbo boosters, +1 utility, but only goes for 2 of the characters. Matrix of Leadership, +1 utility that goes for all my characters, and plus it has a blue flip for just a little bit extra defense. So I kind of went with it, although different play styles, I get it. People do like different things. And then let's see, we got the fuel, we got dumping out your hand, press the advantages. Piece of Tyranny. Oh, that's another thing too, is that since you have 4 wide, Piece of Tyranny becomes a little bit more viable because, you can, if you need to, like if RC's almost out, like if she's on her last breath, you can just scrap RC, take a back-to-back turn with Wheeljack. So like you're all tapped out, RC goes down, you could just scrap, or she's about to go down, you could scrap her. Swing with Wheeljack because Wheeljack's usually the last spot you swing with. Come back, swing with Wheeljack again, get a double KO, or just put down the big bot that's in your way. But yeah, the nice thing with the 4 wide is that like you can afford to scrap a character and not be as like held back, which is pretty cool. It's pretty much everything here for that. Other variations. So before, another thing too is that before I was running 3 rollouts and 3 leap into battles, just because like I was trying to find a good mix with orange and blues, and using the rollouts to like do big transforms. So like transform Prowl, transform Wheeljack, like they transform all, give Wheeljack the bolt 2 from Prowl, and then transform him back to get like bolt 5, and then heal with RC. But it just, it works against blue, but not so much against orange. It doesn't happen too often. And though it is an orange and blue pip, I kind of felt like I went more aggressive. That's why I swapped out the rollouts for matrices of leadership, and I swapped out the leap into battles for reckless charges. But then again, yeah, also goes back to playstyle if that's kind of what you want to do. I get it, yeah, run with it. And plus, it's nice just to block a little bit of extra damage, just to get that little bit of staying power. But yeah, this right here is my battle card set. This is kind of how I keep the bots going, have them dish out their damage, and then let's get into the sideboard and show like your alternatives that you can do. At least my sideboard. All right, so here's my sideboard. For the bot swap, I've got Motormaster. He's 5 stars. He swings for 2 in his alt mode. Has 8 health and 2 defense. And in his alt mode, your other characters can't take non-attack damage, which is awesome, or from your opponent's cards, which is awesome because that stops all the direct damage, stops Shockwaves, stops Superion. Well, it doesn't stop him, but sure as heck slows him down. In his bot mode, his attack goes up by 1, so he swings for 3. His health is 8, and he has a 1 defense. His defense drops by 1. And then if he would defend, if he blocks, then you could choose to have one of your other Stunticons defend for him. Kind of a moot point because there's no other Stunticons. You're just pretty much leaving him in alt mode the whole time. Unless, of course, you want to get that one little bit of extra damage out. But he's just there. He's a sideboard card just in case direct damage is a problem. And then I just swap him out for Flame War. And, just kind of put a stop to that just to slow him down. And then card-wise, we have 3 intelligence missions. You tap an untapped specialist, and with 5 stars or more, and you draw 3 cards. It's really great because you need to keep your hand going, and so if you're playing up against a deck that has lots of espionages, sonic scrambles, or just playing against a heavy discard deck and you can't seem to keep your hand going, intelligence mission is there. You want to add that in to just to keep your hand replenished, because if your hand is empty, it really slows your deck down, especially to make you discard all the time. And so you run these 3 with the work overtimes. I got 3 force fields here. Oops. I got 3 force fields here, just in case if you're going against heavy orange and you just find yourself they're outpacing you left and right. Probably against like a Dinobots, because Dinobots can just output so much damage. And then you put in the 3 force fields in there, just to kind of like help slow it down. So when you draw it, you can just keep blocking a little bit more damage. Because of the force field, just in case people don't know, if you take an attack that deals 5 or more damage, you scrap force field and you only take 4 damage. And then you have 3 loop into battles. One of your characters gets +3 until end of turn. That was originally in my original build of my deck, but I kind of swapped out just to go a little bit heavy orange. But if you're going against like a blue deck and you want to play a little bit more conservatively, you could swap out the reckless charges for leap into battles, and you can still get that +3 to attack. You're gonna hurt your bold. Your bold moves a little bit, but you'll get that little bit of extra blue in there just to block some attacks. But you're still gonna be able to dish out some damage with leap into battles. Probably 2, possibly 2 if you play multi-mission gear. But you're decreasing your damage output a little bit, but you're not dealing 3 damage to one of your characters by dropping reckless charge. So that's everything. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. This deck's just a lot of fun because you get to, since you're all specialists, you get to play a lot of cards in one turn, and it's just funny just to see your opponent squirm a little bit when you're like, multi-tool, I'll play a multi-mission gear, and then I will drop 2 supercharges, or I'll drop a reckless charge and a supercharge, or something or other. Something just to sway your opponent a little bit, because if you beat them mentally, they'll fall apart physically, or something, I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and you guys have a great day. Peace!